My beloved child, listen to me carefully. This is not a normal day. This is a warning and a wake-up call, because if you keep living the same lazy, fearful, comfort-addicted life, nothing will change, and deep inside you already know that you were not created to be average. You were created to rise, but rising demands pain, discipline, sacrifice, and the courage to stand alone when nobody claps for you. Because winners are built in silence while losers wait for motivation, excuses, and perfect timing that never comes. And let me tell you the truth. No one is coming to save you, no shortcut will carry you to greatness, and no prayer works without action. So get up even when your body screams, work when your mind says stop, and move forward when fear tells you to quit. Because every rep you skip, every hour you waste, every comfort you choose is stealing the future you dream about. And yes, it will be hard, lonely, exhausting, and unfair. But that's the price of becoming unstoppable, because pressure doesn't break the strong, it reveals them. Pain doesn't destroy you, it forges you. And discipline will take you places motivation never can. So stop complaining, stop scrolling, stop doubting yourself, and start doing what must be done while others sleep. Because one day very soon the same people who doubted you will ask how you did it. And you will smile knowing you paid the price when it was uncomfortable, when it hurt, when nobody believed. This is your moment, don't waste it, don't delay it, and don't disrespect your potential by quitting now. And remember this, greatness doesn't announce itself, it shows up every day when you don't feel like it, when the results are invisible, when the nights are heavy and the mornings are cruel, because transformation happens in the dark, when nobody is watching and nobody cares. And that's where most people quit. But you are not most people, you are built for more. And every time you choose discipline over comfort, focus over distraction, and purpose over pleasure, you are separating yourself from the crowd. Step by step, inch by inch, day by day, until one morning you wake up and realize the old you is gone, replaced by someone sharper, stronger, unbreakable. Because struggle is not a sign to stop. It's proof that you are moving forward, and the pain you feel today is the strength you will use tomorrow. So stop negotiating with weakness, stop listening to doubt, and stop waiting for permission to become who you were meant to be. Because time doesn't care about your excuses, life doesn't reward intentions, and destiny only bows to those who refuse to quit. So lock in, stay hungry, stay obsessed, and keep pushing even when progress feels slow. Because slow progress is still progress, and quitting is the only real failure. This is your season of discipline, this is your season of becoming, and if you don't stop now, nothing will be able to stop you later. And understand this deeply. The road ahead will test you in ways comfort never could. There will be days when effort brings no applause, when sacrifices go unnoticed, when loneliness feels heavier than failure. But that is exactly where champions are separated from the crowd. Because ordinary people stop when it hurts and powerful people begin there. And every setback you face is not sent to break you but to sharpen you, to teach you patience, focus, and resilience. So stop asking why it's hard and start asking who you are becoming through it. Because the version of you that survives this pressure will be capable of handling success without losing direction. And make no mistake, this journey demands consistency, not hype, courage, not comfort, and faith in your grind even when results are delayed. Because delayed results are not denial, they are preparation. And if you keep showing up, keep pushing, keep choosing discipline over distraction, one day the struggle that almost broke you will become the story that proves you. So don't look back, don't slow down, and don't let temporary pain rob you of permanent power. Because you didn't come this far to stop now. You came this far to finish, to rise, and to become undeniable. And hear this clearly. There will come a moment when quitting feels logical, when resting feels justified, when giving up feels easier than pushing one more step. But that moment is the final test, because life always asks one last question before it changes everything. How bad do you really want it? And if you choose comfort there, you stay ordinary forever. But if you choose pain, discipline, and faith in yourself, you rewrite your destiny. Because success is not built by talent alone. It is built by obsession, patience, and the refusal to bow to weakness. And every time you push through resistance, you train your mind to obey you instead of controlling you, turning fear into fuel and doubt into discipline. So stop counting days and start making days count. Stop dreaming loudly and working quietly, because the grind you respect today will protect you tomorrow. And one day when pressure comes, when responsibility hits, when success demands strength, you won't break. Because you already suffered on purpose, you already trained in silence, you already paid the price, and now nothing scares you anymore, because you know who you are, what you survived, and what you're capable of. This is not motivation, this is a command. Keep going, no matter what, until effort becomes identity and quitting is no longer an option. And mark this, there is a version of you waiting on the other side of consistency. A version that doesn't beg for confidence because it earned it. A version that doesn't fear storms because it learned to walk through fire. And every single disciplined action you take today is a brick laid toward that future, even when it feels small, even when nobody notices. Because momentum is built by showing up again and again when excitement is gone. And let this truth hit you hard. Comfort is expensive, it costs dreams, it costs self-respect, it costs time you will never get back, while discipline is painful now but priceless later. So choose your pain wisely, because life will hurt either way, and the difference between regret and pride is what you do when it's difficult. So cut the noise, lock your focus, and protect your vision like your life depends on it, because it does. And if you stay relentless, if you refuse to negotiate with weakness, If you keep moving forward no matter how slow, the day will come when your presence alone speaks power, when your silence commands respect, and when your journey proves that pressure didn't crush you, it crowned you. And don't forget this truth: no one sees the battles you fight inside, the discipline you choose when temptation is loud, the strength it takes to stay focused when life tries to distract you. But that unseen work is what builds unshakable power. Because character is formed when nobody is watching, and standards are tested when excuses feel justified. And every time you say no to comfort and yes to growth, you are proving to yourself that you are in control, not your mood, not your past, not your fear. And understand this clearly: your future will not be decided by one big moment, but by thousands of small, hard decisions you make daily. So don't chase motivation, build rituals, don't wait for confidence, earn it through action. Because action creates belief, belief creates momentum, and momentum changes everything. And when life tries to break you with pressure, rejection, and delay, you won't fold, because you've already trained your mind to stay calm under fire, focused under stress, and committed under pain. And one day you will look back at this phase, the lonely grind, the silent effort, the days you wanted to quit, and you will thank yourself for not stopping, for not settling, for not betraying your potential, because this is the season where warriors are made, and you are still standing, still moving, still becoming, and that means you're already winning. And let this settle in your bones: there is no glory in potential, no reward for intentions, and no respect for dreams you refuse to chase, because the world only bows to proof, to consistency, to those who show up even when their spirit is tired and their path is unclear. And right now you are being shaped, not celebrated, trained, not praised, tested, not rewarded. But that is how real power is built, because easy roads create weak people and hard seasons create leaders. So stop wishing for easier days and start becoming stronger, sharper, more disciplined, because every obstacle in front of you is asking one question: will you rise or will you retreat? And every time you push forward despite fear, doubt, and fatigue, you rewrite the story of who you are, turning pain into precision and struggle into strength. And understand this: if you stay committed when it's boring, lonely, and uncomfortable, you will be unstoppable when it finally matters, because the grind you survive today becomes the confidence you walk with tomorrow. So keep your head down, your standards high, and your effort ruthless, because one day the results will be loud. The silence will make sense, and the life you're building right now will prove that you didn't just survive the pressure, you mastered it. And lock this into your mind forever: the world doesn't reward comfort seekers, it crowns those who endure, those who stay disciplined when chaos surrounds them, those who keep moving when progress is slow and hope feels thin. Because resilience is built by refusing to quit on your worst days, not celebrating on your best ones. And every time life tries to humble you, it is secretly preparing you to handle heights you once prayed for. So stop questioning the struggle and start respecting the process. Because the process is what separates legends from spectators. And yes, you will be tested again and again: your patience, your faith, your hunger, your self-belief. But each test is proof that you are still in the game, still growing, still being refined. And if you can stay focused when distractions are loud, disciplined when excuses are easy, and committed when quitting feels reasonable, nothing will be able to derail you, because you are no longer chasing success. You are becoming the kind of person success chases. And one day your calm will scare people, your silence will speak louder than words, and your journey will remind everyone watching that true strength is built slowly, painfully, relentlessly, and once it's built, it cannot be taken away. And remember this as the final truth: nothing you are doing right now is wasted, not the pain, not the pressure, not the lonely nights or the silent sacrifices, because every step forward, no matter how small, is rewriting your identity from someone who hoped to someone who knows. And the reason it feels heavy is because you are carrying a future that demands strength, discipline, and unbreakable focus. So don't look for validation, don't wait for applause. And don't explain your grind to people who never bled for their goals, because this path was never meant to be crowded, it was meant to be conquered. And if you stay locked in, if you protect your habits, your standards, and your vision with ruthless consistency, the day will come when doubt has no voice, fear has no control, and quitting has no place in your mind, because you will have proven to yourself, through action, through suffering, through discipline, that you are built for pressure, made for responsibility, and destined for more. And when that day arrives, you won't need motivation anymore, because effort will be who you are, discipline will be your identity, and greatness will no longer be a goal, it will be your standard. Fire and understand this once and for all: the moment you stop needing approval is the moment you become dangerous, because now your drive is internal, your standards are personal, and your discipline is non-negotiable. And life cannot control a person who has learned to suffer without complaining and work without being seen, because that person is no longer ruled by mood, circumstance, or fear. And while others keep negotiating with weakness, you keep executing, keep sharpening. Keep moving forward even when motivation disappears, because you know motivation is temporary but habits are permanent. And every hard day you survive adds weight to your character, depth to your mindset, and fire to your spirit. So when pressure increases, and it will, you won't panic, you won't run, you won't break, because pressure is familiar territory now, it's where you were forged. And one day when responsibility gets heavy, when success demands consistency, when life tests your limits, You won't rise to the occasion, you'll fall back on your training, your discipline, your standards, and that's when it becomes clear. This journey didn't just change your results, it changed who you are, and once identity changes, results have no choice but to follow because you are no longer chasing strength, you are living it. And let this be the line you never forget. Discipline is the language your future understands, and every excuse you kill today gives your destiny room to breathe tomorrow. Because weak habits create loud regrets and strong habits create quiet confidence. And right now you are in the phase where nothing looks glamorous, nothing feels rewarding and quitting feels tempting, but this is the exact season that decides everything, because most people turn back when it gets boring, repetitive, and uncomfortable. While the few who stay locked in rewrite their entire bloodline, and if you can master yourself here, your time, your focus, your emotions, you will never be controlled by circumstances again because self-control is the highest form of power. And power built this way cannot be shaken by opinions, delays, or failure. So keep pushing without announcement, improving without validation, and suffering without complaint. Because one day you won't need to tell your story, your presence, your discipline, and your results will speak for you. And when that happens, you'll realize this grind wasn't punishment, it was preparation, this pain wasn't cruelty, it was conditioning, and this journey wasn't about proving others wrong. It was about proving to yourself that you are unstoppable once you decide not to stop. And now finish this strong. Stand up, breathe deep, and lock in. Because this is the moment you decide whether you stay comfortable or become dangerous, whether you repeat the past or rewrite the future, because everything you've been through is training, not trauma, preparation, not punishment. And if you've survived this far, it means you are built for more. So stop holding back, stop playing small, and stop doubting the fire inside you. Because from this point forward, you move with purpose, you act with discipline. You push with authority, knowing that every step you take now is backed by pain you conquered, fear you faced, and strength you earned. And when the world finally feels the impact of your effort, remember this moment. The moment you chose to rise instead of rest, to fight instead of fold, and to finish instead of quit. Because this is not the end of your story, this is the beginning of your dominance. So go, execute, stay relentless, and don't stop until your life matches the power you know you carry inside. Fire.